Well, as you've seen, I was on the phone for, actually it went another 4.5 minutes from that time that I was on hold with an occasional person coming in and saying, "We'll be right with you." Now, this is after I explained the problem to them, which is slow internet. Now, when we had AT&T, it wasn't too bad. They went to Uverse. Still wasn't too bad. They sold to Frontier. It went down the tubes. Nothing but headaches. I am calling them at least once a month because of the internet service drops. And when it drops, it doesn't just go down for a few hours or an hour. It goes down and stays there until I call them. All right, and 2 or 3 days later, I'm thinking, well, I can't even watch a movie for crying out loud because I'm always watching the hourglass turn. All right, and then it stops. I watch like 4 or 5 seconds of the movie, and then it turns again. So to watch a 10-minute movie, it can take me 30 minutes. So I checked the internet speed, down to 1.92. That's slower than dial-up for crying out loud. So, here I am. I'm supposed to be 6. Give or take is fine. But when it drops to 192, or when it drops actually below 4, I start getting a little bitchy. Because it shouldn't be going that low. So you call them. Oh, we'll run a system check. We'll run a check on the line. We'll run this, we'll run that. Oh, okay, check it now. Everything works. Yeah, again, and for another, 2 or 3 weeks, same problem again. So this has been ongoing since Frontier took over. So they said, well, you got a lot of stuff running. I said, well, I've always had this stuff running. Everything that you see on that system has always been there. And I've never had these problems. So it's just a way of upselling me by keep turning me down. That's what you're doing. And I'm not the only one. Because a friend of mine that I have coffee with all the time, he's having the same issue. He lives a couple miles away from me. And he's always on the phone with Frontier. Now, how many other ones are on the phone with him that we don't know about? Because, we don't talk about it. We're not, Oh, my neighbor, she works for AT&T. Still, she has to be on the internet because she works out of the house because her office is in Georgia or something, and she's having problems. All right, so, it's an ongoing problem with Frontier. So I said, well, okay, you know what? I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. We'll go up to 12. Now, for us to go from 6 to 12, it's going to cost us like $9 a month. Not a big deal if, in fact, this is going to work. So the wife calls them up, I think it was last Tuesday. They said, oh, you'll be connected Friday, all right, by the day end. Technician doesn't have to come to your house. Okay. Friday comes, it's still not there, I'm up to like 5.5, which is okay because it usually hangs between 5.5 and 7. So right there, I'm comfortable with that to start with, but that's my normal speed. But where the hell is this 12? Well, I'm checking it today, not so much checking it, but I'm trying to install this program. Now this comes from our RT Systems. Again, I'm not trying to sell them. However, if you're into shortwave listening and you have some of the newer equipment or the amateur radio and things, this is one of the best companies out there for doing any programming or anything with your radio. It makes life a lot easier. But at that point, how this works is you load it in, and as it's installing, it'll ask for the serial number, which is on the back. It'll ask for your email address, which you enter. Then you hit the go OK button, next button, and what it does, it communicates back to their server, which generates an activation code back to you, fills in the little blank with the activation, which normally takes, I don't know, 10, 15 seconds, 30 seconds. Doesn't take long at all. So I'm installing this program. Well, not this particular program. I got the other one for what you call it. Hey guys, for the new radio. And it keeps timing out and giving me an activation error code because it can't connect to the computer. So I call the company, RT Systems. She says, no, our system's working fine. We have no problem, she says. It's got to be on your end. Well, you know what? I hadn't checked it today. As soon as I checked it, I found out I'm running at 1.94, I think it was. I got it written down over here. 194 or 192. All right. Hello. Well, it's running so slow that it can't communicate with them, so it times out and it gives me an error code. So I got to call them again. So now that's what you see. And I was on the phone with them for close to 35 minutes. Come to find out that the person who took the order never submitted it. She put it into billing. All right, it's entered, boom, boom, boom. We're getting charged for it, but she never continued to finish the transaction to put the service out. So we never got it. So today, after 35 minutes, we found this out. And then she says, well, I'm going to have to send out the technician because you need a new modem. I go, they just gave me a new modem the last time, which was about 4 or 5 months ago. That we had some serious issues. Again, this has been going on since the wife went to this VOP bullshit. Battery's going dead. Let me try it a little bit longer. So at that point, she is not a service technician has to come out because they have to give you another new modem. Okay, well, you know what? I don't care. Give me the modem. It does cause a little bit of a disturbance or a little bit of a pain in the ass because all my cameras that I have that are wireless have to be reprogrammed now to the new modem, and sometimes that could be a pain in the ass. So we got to go through that. As far as the computers, that's simple. Once you get the new modem, you just put in the new code and it's done. But the cameras, you have to go through a certain procedure in order to get it to work. And sometimes it can be a pain in the ass. So, but meanwhile, that's where we're at. So I've been dealing with Frontier. I talked to the wife today. First, they're going to give us a credit. And then Thursday, they're supposed to come out and redo everything. We will see what happens. The TV still every now and then goes like this when you're watching something. Sorry about that, the battery went dead. The TV is still having some small issues, and they've had them. And they says, no, your TV gets 25, whatever it is, gigahertz or whatever. All right, so you should have problems. Oh, okay, come and look at the TV. All right. If I'm watching something and there's a scene that's moving relatively quickly, like somebody walking and their camera's following them, or a car driving, what I'm seeing is this. And it's aggravating. Where it should be. You know what I mean? All right. I said, never had this problem when I had Comcast. The only problem with Comcast was that I never had to call them. Never had an issue with Comcast. Other than one day we got the bill, and it went from $98 and change a month up to like $180 change a month. And we said, what is this? So when I called up, the woman says, well, that's our new system now. That's our new pricing for our package. That's your new pricing. It's not like a contract ran out or something. This is their new pricing, all right? Because that was, our contract, yes, was over. However, they continued on because we were a valued customer. Well, the new pricing kicked in, apparently, and if you weren't under contract anymore, which we weren't, bingo. So this valued customer thing was out the window. So I called up. She said, oh, we can't do anything about that. Oh, you can't? Okay. Called up Frontier. Well, back then it was Uverse. Come in. They come in. They set us up. I call Comcast back. I says, cancel the service. Why? Because what you had said with the pricing going up, no more value customer bullshit. All right. I says, so, well, we decided to cancel. Well, you should have said something. We could have made some arrangements. We tried to say something, and you said that was it. So you know what? That's it. So the only problem with Comcast was the price increase. From the $98 to $180. when it wasn't a contract thing. You know, like I said, the contract was over, but they continued to keep us at that price because, again, we were with them for so long. We were a valued customer. They wanted to keep us. Well, that went on for about 5 or 6 months, and then bingo. You know what? Okay. But if worse comes to worse, I'm going back to Comcast. I'll pay the $180. I don't care. It ain't worth the bullshit. So that's where we're at. Catch you later, guys.